Founder of this farm is the pioneer of all this coffee experience. He started with coffee experience in this part of the region around 18 to 20 years ago. Unfortunately, he died last year. The last of his children took the power of the farm. She decided to keep with the tradition of being a familiar farm and give it a coffee to us. Pretty much, thanks to her, I have a job here. Well, today you're going to be learning a lot about coffee, about the different varieties that we have in this place, the process of fermentation, pollination, and more. If at any moment of the tour you have a question and I haven't asked you, like, guys, do you have a question? You can just ask me, okay? But be careful where you step, guys, because it can get very slippery, so I don't want you to fall and break a bone, pretty much, okay? Now, if you have a question, like if you don't understand something that I might say, you can just let me know, okay?
You go on. You will go down. Tapi nila guys, ang liit.
Well, around the world, there are two main families of coffee plants, the Arabic and the Robusta. In order to cultivate the Arabic family, we have to be around 1,000 to 2,000 meters above the sea level. If you are under 1,000, it's not going to happen. If you are up to 2,000 and something more, it could happen, but the qualities are going to be different. The Robusta, on the other hand, that one can be cultivated under 1,000. That one is stronger and more resistant. The problem with the Robusta is that it contains the double of caffeine, which makes the coffee taste very bitter. The Arabic, that one is considered to be the best coffee around the world. It's the softest coffee around the world. Here in Colombia, we are only going to cultivate the Arabic coffee. Why? Because we have the altitude. For example, right now we are on 1,750 meters above the sea level. The conditions are perfect for us. Okay? Around the world, there are 5 different countries with the highest rate of coffee production. Do you know the name of one of those?
Brazil.
Brazil, the first one.
Philippines.
Sorry?
Philippines.
No,
No?
it's not in there.
Ethiopia?
Ethiopia, the last one of those 5. The second one starts with V and is with Nan.
Vietnam?
Vietnam. The third one, the most important one,
Colombia.
Colombia, of course.
Yeah.
And the fourth one, Indonesia. Okay? Ethiopia is like the 8th one order. Okay? But I'm talking about the production, no
Yes,
quality. Okay? Here in Colombia, even though we are not the first country with the highest rate of coffee production around the world, we are the best. Why? Because in this country, we are only going to cultivate the Arabic coffee. And as I mentioned before, that one is considered to be the best coffee around the world. There's a second reason for that, but I'm going to be talking about that one later. Okay?
Okay.
So, in this place, this farm, we have 6 different varieties of coffee plants. All of them are part of the Arabic family, but there are 6 different varieties. Okay? The first one is that one over there in the corner. That one over there, it's called Colombia, like the country. Colombia was the first plant to be believed that it was immune to La Roya. La Roya is a type of fungus. Do you know what a fungus is? Do you know what a fungus is?
No.
Mushroom.
Must.
A fungus that is going to destroy that plant. Okay, the leaves are going to turn yellow. Then all of them are going to fall off. Then the fruit. And if this one over here gets it, that one over there does as well, that one over there does as well, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's like a disease. The second one is that one over there with more branches than leaves. That one is called typical traditional. The third one, this one over here, it's called Castillo, like castle, but in Spanish, Castillo. Okay?
Yeah.
And the fourth one is that one over there in the middle of everything. That one over there is called Tabi. T-A-P-I, Tabi. The main difference between Castillo and Colombia is that Castillo is going to grow as a tree. That one can be 5, 6, 7 meters tall. Colombia is going to be more like a bush. Okay? Now, I just mentioned 4 different names. Can you remind me those names?
Tabi.
Tabi.
Castillo.
Castillo.
La tradicional.
Typical traditional.
Typical traditional. Y Colombia.
In Colombia. Excellent. Let's go over here.
You stop and have a
I'm guessing that is compost.
Compostero.
There we go. So we have different ingredients in this moment. We have leaves, branches, roots, the skin of the coffee, and two that are very important. One is called gallinaza, which is chicken poop. The other one is cow poop. Okay. So what is happening in this moment is that the bacteria are making the process of decomposition. If we leave this as it is, it could reach up to 70 to 80 degrees, and it is going to destroy the bacteria. If that happens, the compost is going to be ready in 4 months to be used on the plants. But if we move the compost from one side to the other every day, every once in a while, it's going to be ready in 1 month. Why? Because we're going to keep alive the bacteria, and the bacteria are pretty much our employees. Okay? Are you getting all the information, guys? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be using this compost 3 to 4 times in a year, and we're going to be using 3 to 4 kilograms per plant, which means we need a lot of it. Okay. As I mentioned before, this farm is a familiar farm, so we are quite small. We only have 1 hectare and around 5,000 trees. That is quite small compared to the big ones. They have around 8 and 16 hectares. Okay. There is a big disadvantage or advantage, that depends how you look at it. Why? Because since we are so small, we don't produce enough coffee to export. All the coffee that we produce in this farm, you're gonna find it just in this place. You're not gonna find the coffee from this farm in Salento, in some restaurant, just in this place. Okay? That's the biggest disadvantage. The advantage is that since we are so small, we can create our own compost, which enable us to be an organic farm. We don't use chemicals, because those products are going to change the flavor of our coffee, and that's something that we don't want to. Those farms that are so big, they need to use chemicals, most of them. Why? Because if they try to do it this way, it will be too much work.
It's a coffee.
This is the color that we're gonna be looking for in order to take the fruit from the plant. Red. But that depends on the variety of the plant.
Yeah.
Because tabi, the one that I mentioned before, can be red or yellow. And the difference is that the red one is sweeter, the yellow one is more citric. But there are different plants that can provide pink and orange coffee. Okay? The one that you're gonna be looking at in this place is gonna be mostly the red one, because we have more Castillo. And Castillo produce the red one. Okay? I'm gonna be this one over here.
For me, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank
There
you.
we go. And there we go. Now, how many beans do you think are
2.
gonna be inside of? Sorry.
2.
2. How many do you think?
1.
1.
2.
2.
1.
1. Okay, so we're gonna find out.
2.
The way we open the fruit is this way. You're gonna pressure and you're gonna close your hands, because if you do something like this, something like that is gonna happen.
Oh, they knew.
You're gonna screw up. Okay?
2.
Yeah, they started before. Now, there should be 2 of them, okay? But it could happen that there is just 1,
Yeah.
and that means that there was an underdevelopment of the fruit. But it could happen that there are 3 of those, and that means that there was an overdevelopment of the fruit, okay? Now, I want you to take one of those fruits and put it in your mouth,
Sweet.
okay?
Really?
Yeah, it's sweet. Idash. That's about put in your stomach.
Don't swallow it, don't chew
Don't
it,
swallow.
just taste it, okay? As she said, it's a little bit sweet, right? The sweet thing that you're tasting right now, it's called mucilage, and the mucilage is like the honey of the coffee, okay? Now, I want you to make a small hole about this deep with your own finger anywhere you want.
You put in the lamp.
And now I want you to put both of your seeds in the same hole. That's all right.
You cover.
Yes.
What do you think we're gonna be doing with the skin of the coffee?
Will grow.
Compost. There you go. So can you go back there and throw the? No, I'm just kidding. You can try it over
I
here.
can go.
You can try it over here.
And this?
Yeah, just throw
You
it.
throw that.
Okay.
There you go. Now, in 1 month, you're gonna get something like this. It's called phosphoro. Okay? In 2 months, you're gonna get something like this. It's called chapola. Chapola because there is a butterfly in the region that is called chapola, and it looks a lot like it. Okay? And also because a couple of years ago, the women they used to recollect the coffee, they were called chapolera, and they used to wear a big dress, a big skirt. If we turn over the flower, it looks like a big skirt dress. Okay? If you don't see it, it's because you lack imagination. Then we're gonna take the chapola and we're gonna put it over here, plant it over here. A plastic bag with compost, and in 5 more months you're gonna get something like this. It's called colino. Okay? And colino is ready to be planted on the land. Okay?
Did you ever cut the trees? Like,
Yeah.
fully?
Yeah, and also in 1 year that colino is gonna be quite tall. And the first blooming has already taken place. The second year, the first production of coffee. To those 2 years, we're gonna add 6 more years, so 8 years in total. Okay? In those 6 years, the plant is gonna be producing coffee every single year for us. But after 8 years of working, the coffee production of this plant is going to decrease. In that moment, what we're going to do is to cut down the plant, leaving 1 or 2 branches, and from 1 or 2 branches, a new plant is going to grow again. Okay? And then, in that moment, what we're going to do is the same process. 1 year to be quite tall, 2 years for the first production of it, and then 6 more years, so 8 years. In that moment, what we're going to do is that we're going to take the plant and we're going to throw it to the compost because it has leaves, branches, and roots. And then we're going to plant a new colino, which means this plant is going to live with us 16 years. The first 8 years, we're going to cut it. The other 8 years, we're going to take it and we're going to throw it away. Okay? But that is because this is